What are radians? And why do scientists and engineers use radians to measure angles? To answer these questions, let's first make sure we know exactly what radians are and where they come from. At school, we're taught to measure angles in degrees, and that there are 360 of them in a circle. For some reason, a circle is divided into 360 equally sized slices, or segments, and the angle at the pointy end of one segment has a value of 1 degree. But have you ever wondered why there are 360 degrees in a circle? Why not 100, or 10, or some other number that would make calculations involving angles much easier? History tells us it was the Babylonians, a race of mathematicians and engineers, that gave us the 360-degree circle, around 4,000 years ago. The ancient Chinese, another highly advanced culture, at about the same time, divided their circles into 365 degrees, the number of days in a year. Both cultures must have noticed that it takes 365 days for the seasons to repeat themselves, and for constellations of stars to make a big circle in the night sky. But it turns out 360 was a good choice for another reason. 360 is easily divided by lots of other whole numbers to give whole numbers. For example, 360 degrees divided by 3 is a nice round 120 degrees. Divide it by 4 and you get 90 degrees. 360 divided by 8 gives another whole number, 45. Divide by 24 and you get exactly 15. In fact, 360 has 24 different whole number divisors. That's more than any other positive integer up to its own value. We say that 360 is a highly composite number, which makes it particularly good for calculations involving circles. At least it did thousands of years ago. But, as clever as it was back then to divide a circle into 360 degrees, it's rather awkward for some of the mathematics we need to do these days, especially when it comes to science, engineering, and computing. An alternative was developed in the 1700s by the English mathematician Roger Coates. His approach took advantage of a fundamental truth about all circles. And that is, if you divide the distance around the outside of any perfect circle, the distance known as the circumference, by the length of a straight line that goes from one side to the other, passing through the centre, what we call the diameter, then you will always get the same number. The number 3.14159, with an infinite number of non-repeating decimal places. It's a fundamental constant. Dividing the circumference by the diameter of any circle will always give the same number, no matter how big or small the circle is. We symbolise this number with the Greek letter pi. And, by the way, if you divide the circumference of any circle by its radius, which is a straight line from the centre to the edge, then you'll get a number that's twice as big as pi. That is 6.28318, with an infinite number of non-repeating decimal places. And we symbolise this fundamental constant with the Greek letter tau. Roger Coates realised that he could express angles more naturally in terms of the circle's fundamental properties by taking the radius of the circle and wrapping it around the outside to create an arc. He defined an angle of 1 radian. And there are just over 6 radians in a full circle, 6.28318 of them, in fact, the value of tau, or 2 times the value of pi. Now at this point you might be thinking, that's even more complicated than using an arbitrary number of degrees to measure an angle. There aren't even a whole number of radians in a circle. 6.28318 is not exactly an easy number to work with. But this complication goes away if we express radians as multiples of pi, without concerning ourselves too much with the actual value of pi. If there are 2 times the value of pi radians around the whole circumference of a circle, then we can say that we've turned through an angle of 2 pi radians when we turn through a full circle. If we turn through an angle of pi radians, that's half a circle. A quarter turn is pi divided by 2 radians, and so on. It's tempting to convert these angles back into degrees, and perhaps that may be comforting for a while, but when you're using radians on a regular basis, you may find that there's just no need. Radians are fundamental when it comes to trigonometry and calculus, because they do indeed make calculations so much easier. These branches of mathematics are used extensively in computer graphics, animation, game development, robotics, data transmission, Wi-Fi, AI, and even quantum computing. Being able to express angles of rotation in radians instead of degrees is therefore an essential skill for a computer scientist.